Imagine this. You entrust your life savings to a family member before leaving on a journey. When you return, they look you right in the eye and claim they have no idea what you're talking about. There are no receipts, no contracts, and absolutely zero witnesses. If this happens today, you might check bank records or hire a forensic accountant. But this dispute took place in 16th century India, inside the imposing red sandstone walls of Emperor Akbar's royal court. Here, the emperor's word was absolute law, and physical evidence was practically non-existent. Akbar handed these dead-end cases to his minister, Birbal. He operated as the empire's final filter for disputes that traditional authority couldn't resolve. This conceptual diagram illustrates his method, a concept we now call lateral thinking. When logic dictates you must push straight through a solid barrier of denial, lateral thinking suggests you stop, step sideways, and bypass the obstacle entirely. In a royal court where you cannot argue with the emperor or rely on hard forensic data, true power comes from shifting your perspective. We can see this perspective shift in how Birbal handled the emperor himself. One evening, after hearing his court musician Tansen perform, Emperor Akbar demanded that Tansen's own teacher, Swami Haridas, be brought to the court to sing. There was an immediate problem. Haridas refused all royal orders. Conventional logic dictated that the emperor should send his army to drag the musician in, using brute force to compel obedience. Instead of escalating to violence, Birbal shifted the motivation. He pointed out that Haridas didn't sing for earthly kings. He sang exclusively for the divine. Birbal convinced Emperor Akbar to leave his palace, travel to the musician's ashram in disguise, and wait quietly. He converted the most powerful monarch in the world into a humble listener. By reframing the objective from obeying a royal decree to witnessing divine devotion, Birbal achieved the emperor's exact goal without triggering a disastrous political standoff. That same sideways approach is exactly how Birbal tackled our impossible case of the stolen life savings. The thief, Nazir, had constructed a flawless lie. There was no physical evidence and no human witnesses to prove the money ever changed hands. So Birbal summoned the only existing witness to the transaction. He ordered the victim to go back to the exact spot where he handed over the money and bring back the large jackfruit tree that was standing right above them. As the victim left to carry out this absurd task, Birbal simply waited, letting the hours tick by to give Nazir a false sense of security. Eventually, Birbal casually remarked to the court that the man was taking too long, but it made sense since the tree was located at the extreme far edge of the empire. Without thinking, Nazir blurted out that the man shouldn't take that long because the tree was actually quite close by. This diagram represents the courtroom burden of proof. By speaking up, Nazir accidentally confirmed the exact location of an exchange he swore never happened. In a single breath, Birbal shifted the weight of evidence entirely onto the thief. The trap snapped shut. When evidence is completely invisible, shifting the burden of proof forces a guilty party to testify against themselves. This lateral approach could also save lives. After encountering a commoner named Sagar first thing in the morning, Emperor Akbar had a terrible day, culminating in a missed meal. In a fit of rage, Akbar sentenced Sagar to death merely for being bad luck. Akbar's mind began building a pattern out of coincidences. He ignored every neutral moment of his day, focusing only on the negative ones and pinning them all on his encounter with Sagar. Birbal recognized the logical flaw immediately, but the political reality was highly dangerous. You cannot simply tell an absolute monarch that his brain is playing tricks on him without risking your own execution. Birbal approached the throne and agreed that Sagar was indeed unlucky, but he asked the emperor to consider the outcome of their meeting. Sagar looked at Akbar that morning, and now Sagar was the one about to lose his life. Birbal forced the emperor to apply his own logic to the situation. If looking at a cursed face leads to ruin, then Sagar was the true victim for looking at Akbar. Faced with this mirror image of his own reasoning, the emperor set the man free. Recognizing the error, Akbar accepted the point. He immediately freed the innocent man, ensured the stolen money was returned to Abdul Qadir, and he learned a lesson in humility. Human beings are naturally wired for confrontational, linear problem-solving. When we hit a wall, whether it's a stubborn person, a denied request, or a missing piece of evidence, our instinct is to just keep shoving straight against the stone. Birbal's legacy suggests that when logic, evidence, or authority fails, the most effective move is to step to the side. Whether facing a deceptive friend, an irrational boss, or a seemingly impossible puzzle, the solution rarely lies in digging for better evidence. Instead, the answer reveals itself when you change how you look at the problem.